Andrew and Anthony, the Greyhounds, back at eTown. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, so you're out on tour with Charlie Crockett, playing a bunch of dates, and how's that going? How does his audience? You know, he doesn't attract just a country crowd, right? He's just a music crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
yeah, everybody's been great. I mean, yeah, it's been really interesting to see. You know, it's just a diverse group of people coming out to see the shows, and I think because of the juxtaposition between the styles of music, it's just interesting to see their reaction to it as well.
Yeah, well, I love his phrase "Gulf and Western music." You know, he really does incorporate that whole kind of Southern soul sound from New Orleans over to it doesn't matter. And of course, you guys are absolutely universally appealing. That music just works for everybody. Greyhounds music just works.
Thanks.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Heard it here.
Yeah, that's right. Our music, the whole family can agree on.
But he's got, it looked like a couple of buses and a bunch of crew, and you guys are just...
We're in a Chrysler Pacifica.
A Chrysler Pacifica, trying to just hold on and keep up with the buses.
Oh yeah, but it's been fine.
Yeah,
it's just been. I mean, what else are we doing? It's been great. It's been a blast.
But sometimes, I know that when I was touring, the agents would sometimes look at and see 500 miles as being like that's a reasonable distance between one-nighters.
Yeah.
And that can make for a long drive when you're in a Chrysler Pacifica.
Oh, yeah. But we got seat heaters and
we're all capable drivers,
that helps too, yeah.
Yeah. So we work it out, but definitely but it's fun too. It's like we spent so much time in the bus over the years with Mofro, and being in the van, it acclimates you to where you're going.
Yeah.
You really absorb the energy of whenever you're on a bus, you sleep through all of that.
Right.
And you hear the accents changing. You feel, you have to change your watches, there's just, you're way more in tune to where you are when you're traveling in a Chrysler Pacifica.
Yeah. And especially coming from, and if your previous gig was in Kansas City, you got to get a long chance at getting a vibe from Kansas.
Oh, yeah. We got deep in the Kansas vibe, man. Yeah. But he slept through that. Yeah. Did you? I don't know. We haven't talked about that. Yeah. He got stuck in Kansas. He had to do a session.
I was actually doing some work with the Charlie Crockett camp, and I was fortunate enough to play on the most recent record, and so they went in to do some little more recording, and so I got to be a part of that as well, and so cool. I got to join them for the drive. I got to see it from both perspectives.
Well, let's talk about recording, because your latest record was a couple years ago, Primates, right?
Yes.
And Steve Berlin helped you with that one?
Oh, yeah,
so he
definitely.
got to have some Los Lobos special sauce?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What'd you learn? What did you learn from, the way you've been making records, and what did Steve Berlin share that you didn't know before?
Well, Steve, everybody I've talked to about Steve, they agree that he's like a producer's producer. He's the guy that, like, what I imagine a producer being in terms of, he's not going to come in there and tell you how you're supposed to do things. He's more like, hey, I'm going to open up these doors and show you that there's possibilities here, and you can go and explore, for yourself. I'm just here to kind of help guide you, and that was such a rewarding experience, because, we've all been in those types of relationships where it's like, you have a common goal, but everybody has their idea of how it's supposed to go, and so it was really nice. It's nice that we got that recorded, and that we have had such a good experience.
Yeah. And are his invitations to open up new doors, are they more musical or more technical or more structural? Where do they?
I mean, it was all over the place.
Yeah, it was everything.
Yeah, and that's what was great about it, is that, like, we had a bunch of ideas coming in there. Andrew and I got together and just recorded a bunch of really different snippets of ideas.
Yeah.
And so we kind of came in there just ready to kind of, hey, let's just make something happen. And so some of the things we had like lyrics written, some of the things we didn't. And so he offered suggestions on that kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
And it just all across the board, there were so many different aspects of the process where he kind of just showed us another direction that we could go, and it just informed the whole process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, another thing I want to ask you about, speaking of creative projects, manifestations, I understand both of you are going to be dads.
That's right.
So when you find out that you're going to be a dad, what does that do to your worldview? How does that change the way you see your spot and where you're heading?
Well, if I can we will get to that, but I have to say something about that. So he got pregnant, or his wife did. They got pregnant, and like literally, my wife and I we were not gonna have kids. It's we're just not doing it. She's an artist, I'm a musician. We're just like whatever. So they got pregnant, and then 2 months later, my wife got pregnant, and she didn't believe it. I had to go get the tests. I had to she's like, it's impossible. There's no way I'm pregnant. And it's just crazy because he and I have been together for 23 years doing work together, and out of all the time now, we both, and it happens. It's like we're on forced. What is it? Forced. What did Christine say? Forced maternity leave or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, great. It's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was pretty magical how that happened.
Yeah, I've been reading about how our immune systems are a combination of all these things. All the T cells and all the things that are swirling around trying to keep us healthy, but that mostly we're also a whole lot of different kinds of bacteria.
Yeah.
And that gazillions of bacteria that we share with the people around us, and that becomes a big part of who we are and how we are in the world. And if you spent 23 years next to each other, man, you're sharing a bunch of biomass between you.
That's what I say. He gave me baby COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. So anyway, but yeah, we're excited. But I think that the question you were asking earlier, you probably have thought about that more than I have.
Well, man, I mean, it's very sobering, when you think about, hey, you're bringing another life into this world, another character onto the play, and so. But it's exciting, it's amazing, it's scary, But like most of all, it's just you just feel like, hey, this is what we do. We're humans. We make more humans, and we try to, we're reaching for something. You know what I mean? And if we don't find it, then hopefully, the ones that come after us find it. And yeah, man. And the big thing I'm already realizing, and what a lot of people have already told me, is that it's not about you anymore.
Yeah.
And you know what? To be honest, that's a relief.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, take some of that focus off of yourself and put some of that energy into the world and try to make it a better place for other people, especially your family. You know what I mean? And so
Now you sound like you're preaching the eTown gospel.
hey, right on. Whatever it is,
Yeah, man.
yeah. Let's everybody do it, man. Like,
I thought about this whole program because I had kids. It's like, how can I think about the way music connects people, and then try to make things a little better on behalf of this next generation, and see if it can't work out and make some stuff happen better. And it's not just bringing more people into the world, you guys. It's bringing more love into the world.
Yeah.
It's bringing more love into the world in a way that is the coolest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I congratulate you both on all fronts, man.
Appreciate
Congratulations musically, being out there, hanging out with Charlie Crockett, being on the road, making music, recording,
Yeah.
being dads.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Pretty
Well, it's
wild.
great to see y'all again.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank
See
you.
you too.
Thanks for
the
having
adventure
us.
continues.
Yeah.